is and life coach for midlife women, none other than Miss Elizabeth Cush.
Hey, Daniel, thank you for having me.
Welcome, Miss Elizabeth, on Book 101 Review. And can you please introduce more about yourself that I miss?
Yeah, sure thing. So, I am a therapist and I'm licensed in the United States in the states of Maryland and Delaware. So, I see clients virtually in both those places. And I am also a soul support for highly sensitive women. So, it's coaching for midlife women who either have recently discovered or have always known they were highly sensitive, and through that work, I host a circle or a membership for highly sensitive women where we meet once a month just to connect and kind of validate our experiences and find community. But I'm also a podcast host. So I'm host of the Awaken Your Wise Woman podcast, where it's all about highly sensitive women and supporting them in their journeys through midlife.
Yes, and thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world, Miss Elizabeth. Empowering women in all over the world is something else. So today, let's talk about supporting highly sensitive women. Tell
Yes.
us, for many highly sensitive can be misinterpreted as weak or fragile. How do you help women reframe their sensitivity as a core component of their strength and unique intelligence?
Yeah. So I think a lot of that work goes to sort of um, storying what you've been told growing up, because often highly sensitive women or highly sensitive people in general have been told they're too sensitive, they're too much, they need to stop feeling so much or being too much. And so being able to reframe that as a gift, as a a core component of your looks like my internet did a little wonky thing.
Yes,
Oh, there we
go
go.
ahead, Miss
Sorry, I think my
Elizabeth.
internet went off for a minute, but is it
Yes,
okay to just keep going? Sorry.
yes, go ahead, Miss Elizabeth.
Yeah,
Go
I'm
ahead, Miss
having a little
Elizabeth.
bit of trouble with my internet these. All right. So for people who are highly sensitive, what it means is that they are more finely attuned to all their senses. So what you hear, taste, touch, smell, and see. For people who are highly sensitive, it's almost as if the volume's turned up, or those senses are uh, just turned up, I guess.
How do you distangle the innate trait of high sensitivity from the social conditioning women often receive to be a caretakers and emotional managers? Where do they overlap and where do they differ?
So I think the key for being highly sensitive is that it is a biological trait. It is something that you're born with. It's something that is just a part of who you are. And there are other traits that can compound that. So I think being highly sensitive, it might make you want to feel more in control of your environment or more in control of other people's feelings, because that helps you feel more secure. But really, ultimately, you are just who you are and you're sensitive, so that it's important to learn how to make boundaries and create safe spaces for you and your sensitive nature.
So, what are the most underrated superpowers or advantages you are consistently see highly sensitive women whether in their careers, relationships, or creativity, Miss Elizabeth.
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry. It was a little I didn't
Yes.
hear it. Yeah.
Miss Elizabeth, what are the most underrated superpowers or
Ah,
advantages you
oh,
consistently see?
perfect. Thank you. Yes. Where highly sensitive women are highly attuned to others. So they are able to forge and create deep connection with other people. They can be incredibly creative and intuitive leaders. Um, their deep processing allows them to really think through alternative and interesting ways of problem solving. But it's also we are deep feeling individuals, so we gain a lot of resources. We gain a lot of good feelings around like being in nature or having a pet and connecting with animals. So there are a lot of really beautiful parts of sensitivity, but sometimes the overwhelm can, um, because we feel so deeply and because our sensory input is so intense, sometimes we can get overwhelmed easily. So it's important to also make sure you take time for yourself and time to take care of your own needs instead of focusing on other people's needs.
Miss Elizabeth, highly sensitive women often absorb the emotions and stimuli of others. What are the most effective non negotiable strategies for managing energy drainage and protecting the inner environment?
That is a beautiful question. I think recognizing that you might need more time alone or more time to recharge because we do absorb so much that that overwhelm can sort of short circuit us, and it's kind of like a computer that might need to be rebooted or your phone that has to be restarted. You need that either alone time, quiet time, time in nature to reset your inner world.
Reset your inner world, indeed, and boundary setting can feel specifically fraught for AHPs who are hurting feelings. How can they communicate their limits compassionately yet firmly without apology or over explanation?
Mm. So I think being open, maybe vulnerable if that feels okay to you, about your sensitivity, that how it impacts you. But it's also important to remember that having boundaries for many women as has can be challenging because we've been raised to sort of take care of others and put others' needs first. And I think for highly sensitive women, that sense is even more intensified. So it's sort of reaffirming that it's important that your needs are as important as others. But yeah, so strong boundaries, but doing them with care and clarity to say, you know, I know you want me to go to this event, but for me, that would feel really overwhelming. And right now, I'm at capacity and it would be hard for me to attend and have a good time. So it's almost like recognizing what other people want, but also prioritizing your needs.
Prioritizing your needs. Interesting, Miss Elizabeth. From open plan office to constant notifications, modern life is an assault on the senses. What are your top hacks for creating pockets of sensory sanctuary without throughout the day, I should say?
Yeah, that's another wonderful question. So it's like those small, micro self care tactics. Open plan environments definitely can be overstimulating. So maybe you might need to use noise canceling headphones while you're working, potentially. if just the work environment is chaotic and you're feeling stressed, or like now through the holidays, if just each thing feels a little bit more overwhelming than usual, taking time to get outside, even just slow, deep breaths to help re regulate your nervous system to find a more calm and peaceful place inside. I think are some of the best ways to monitor or to help yourself as far as like either news cycles or social media, just limiting how much you consume. And there are, ways to do that, whether it's an app on your phone or just choosing to put your phone on do not disturb so that you're not constantly getting those alerts and those pop-ups.
Miss Elizabeth, why might highly sensitive women make a uniquely effective, empathic, and insightful leader? At what specific challenges must she navigate to lead in her authentic style?
Hmm. So I think one of the most amazing qualities for leaders who are highly sensitive is that they are incredibly intuitive and can really and empathic. So they understand others' needs really well. So um, they are also intensely creative and think outside the box. So those are things that are really valuable in the workforce. They make really good, dedicated employees, but also leaders. The hard side of that is because we're so empathic that it may be hard for us to maintain boundaries around how much we take on. Because if someone's coming to us feeling stressed or feeling out of sorts because of the work they're doing, we may want to take it on to help alleviate their burden. But it's really important to maintain those boundaries to create your own, wellness and make sure you're taking care of yourself.
Taking yourself is something you will need to care. People, self care indeed. What should a highly sensitive woman look for a friendship and partnership to ensure they are reciprocal and energizing rather than draining, Miss Elizabeth?
Yes. Yes. So, um, the reciprocalness in a relationship is really, real. I don't even know if that's a word, but that's really important because often highly sensitive women feel like they give more than they receive in relationships. So hopefully the ideally the friendship should be with a person who is understanding and compassionate towards your sensitive needs. And that can be a challenge because we are only a small portion of the population. So if the person you're in relationship with doesn't fully understand your needs, that becomes, a focus for ourselves to be able to be open and honest about what we need, but also what it means to be highly sensitive, that we're not just overreacting or um, too emotional. We are truly sensitive beings who might require a little more time, a little more understanding, or just some space to be able to show up fully in our sensitive selves.
Miss Elizabeth, how can help the lesson of sensitive people in our lives
Mm,
understand their experience without making them feel likely they have walk on eggshells?
oh, I think I lost you there for a minute. Can you
Yes, so
repeat
Miss
that for me?
Elizabeth,
Sorry. Yes.
yes, no worries. So, how can help sensitive women to understand their experience without making them feel they have to walk on eggshells?
Yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of that is understanding your sensitivities from a compassionate place because when we're walking on eggshells, we're doing that because we're fearful of what other people might think or say, or how they're going to react to us. But if we can meet ourselves with compassion around our sensitivities, like, um, this, maybe my husband or my best friend wants me to attend an event that doesn't feel right for me. Instead of having feeling as if I have to tippy toe or make an excuse that isn't true, I can just be truthful in my sensitive nature to say, this is really hard for me. And I find, maybe this event just isn't the right fit for me. Do you mind if I don't go? But being able to meet ourselves instead of piling on the guilt or the shame around our sensitivities and how that might feel like it's limiting us, just meeting ourselves with care, compassion, and kindness. And, or like, how could I do this thing, whatever it is, go to an event, host something? How could I do that so it supports me? So it's really important to be able to get curious and, as I said, find compassion for yourself around your sensitivities.
Miss Elizabeth, as a therapist and life coach for midlife women, what are your short term and long term goals?
I feel like most of what I do as a coach for highly sensitive women is create a community. I'm a safe space to land. I am building a community where highly sensitive women can gather. Individually, I am there to support and really be a soul guide so that highly sensitive women can show up in the world fully and authentically. And so that means embracing your sensitivities. It means being highly compassionate towards yourself around your sensitive nature. And so some of those practices are, through self compassion practices, but also I think meditation and helping clients to better understand their inner world so that they can show up more fully. And that's the goal.
Miss Elizabeth, good luck to your goals and looking forward for more success. And what would be your piece of advice for those people out there who want to be like you?
Hmm. Well, my hope would be that if you think you might be highly sensitive, that you learn a little bit more about it, that you work on treating yourself with kindness around your sensitivities, but just in general, treat yourself with kindness and look for other women or other communities where you are fully supported as you are.
Yes, and thank you for that advice, Miss Elizabeth. And can you please recommend a book or books that influence your journey?
Yeah. So I think one of the earliest books that really hit home for me, and it's a therapy book, but it's also written for the everyday person. And it's called Running on Empty by Dr. Jonice Webb. And she describes what she calls childhood emotional neglect. And I think often for highly sensitive women, our emotional needs don't get met because our parents may not have understood what high sensitivity is and what we need as children. And it ends up leaving us in adulthood feeling empty inside, as if maybe there is something wrong with us versus there is something missing from my childhood that I just didn't get. And often the characteristics of childhood emotional neglect aren't super visible. Like it's just a lack of real, true attachment and connection as children to our parents. And it's not that the parents were trying to hurt us or harm us, they just didn't have the skills or weren't in a place to be able to give us what we need. And so for me, this book really opened up a whole other level of healing for myself and created a better relationship for me with my own parents because it helped me better understand their struggles in parenting as well.
Thank you for that recommended book, Miss Elizabeth. And before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people. My other podcast, because my abstract essay is already in fifth season, abstract poetry in second season, and my book 101 review in fifth season too. Comedy 101 in third season, and my food 101 in fifth season as well. Geography 101, love letters, music 101, movie 101 review, our fourth season. Science 101, Sex 101 in its second season of my baby podcast, Law 101, Mental Health 101, Bible Verses 101, and this coming December, Entrepreneur 101. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. So, Miss Elizabeth, if you could give one universal message of permission to every highly sensitive woman listening, what would it be?
It would be your high sensitivity is a gift to the world. And I hope that you can come to see it that way for yourself and for the world in general, because we need more high sensitivity and more highly sensitive energy out there in the world.
Yes, definitely. And thank you, Miss Elizabeth, for empowering women all over the world. Sacred Soul Support for Sensitive Women. What is all about on your website?
Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate you having me on your podcast.
Yes, definitely. And Miss Elizabeth, can you expound more the phrase on your website? Sacred Soul Support for Sensitive Women.
Yeah. I feel like what I offer is a safe landing space for highly sensitive women, whether it's in community, in my circle of sacred sensitivity membership, or working one on one with me. It's where your sensitive soul is held and supported.
Yes, people. Let's support Miss Elizabeth Cush. So, can you please invite our listeners to support you?
Yeah. So if you want to support me, you can follow me on Instagram. I'm there at Awaken Your Wise Woman. You can also just head to my website. There are ways to support me there, whether listening to the podcast or joining my circle. I would love to have you be a part of it. We meet again in December. And yeah, if you're a highly sensitive woman, you are welcome.
Yes, people. Let's support Miss Elizabeth Cush. So, more to come, people. See you soon.